Good morning, students. Let us continue with the yesterday's explanation. Today, our first topic is physical properties of water. All these points you are seeing is the properties of water. The first point is due to transparency of water, light reaches the water plants and they are able to manufacture their own food. Means when the water is transparent, then only light is able to reach inside the water in the ocean bodies, and then only the water bodies are able to prepare food, because without sunlight they cannot prepare their food. And when the water is transparent, then only light is reaching inside, then only it is getting proper ways to prepare its food. Next point is freezing point of water is 0 degree Celsius, which means that at this temperature water gets converted into ice. At the same temperature 0 degree Celsius, ice changes into water, and this is called the melting point of ice. So freezing point of water is 0 degree Celsius, in which the water gets converted into ice, and against that same temperature ice changes into water, and this is called the melting point of ice. Next point is boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. At this temperature water boils and changes into water vapor. At the same temperature 100 degrees Celsius, water vapor condenses into the water. Earlier only I told you what is condensation, cooling down of water vapors to form water. So, cooling down of water vapors to form water, and the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, melting point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. So see that pink table, students. In the hot region, coolers are normally used during summers. In this, water is poured over mats fixed on the three sides of the cooler. The air is sucked into the chamber through this wet mats, and evaporation of water causes the air to cool. The fan in the cooler continuously sucks in air and from outside and throws the cooled air into the room and make it cool. So where the regions are normally so hot, there what the people are using during summer, cooler, water cooler. In this, cooler is poured over mats fixed on the three sides of the cooler. Water is poured over the mats fixed on the three sides of the cooler. You people also can see in your normal cooler the three side mats are there. The air is sucked into the chamber through these wet mats, and evaporation of water causes the air to cool. What is evaporation? Evaporation is when the water vapor because of heat converted into water vapor. Okay, so our next topic is water as a unique solvent. What is solvent? Solvent means in which the substance get dissolved. Okay, so solvent, water is a unique solvent. Why it is unique solvent? Because many substances dissolve in water. This is why it is called a universal solvent. All those things whatever we are doing, we need water. Okay, so many substances are going to dissolve in water. That's why it is called universal solvent. Materials dissolved in a solvent are called solutes. So students, solute, solvent and solution are the three things. Though the materials which are getting dissolved are called solute, in which it is dissolving it is called solvent, and when they both get mixed, that is called solution. Later on when the chapter will finish, I'll tell you more clearly about this topic. Okay, so next topic is salinity of seawater. Rainwater is a distilled water. It does not contain mineral salts. However, due to atmospheric pollution, various gases dissolve in it. When this water flows over soil and rocks, many types of mineral salts dissolve in it. This water reaches the sea through the rivers. In this way, the amount of minerals present in the seawater increases and it becomes saline. In 1 liter of seawater, there are about 35 grams of salts, that is sodium chloride. Common salt, whatever we eating, is the main salt present, but small amount of sodium bromide and magnesium chloride and potassium iodide are also present. So students, rainwater is the distilled water. You all have heard about the distilled water. Distilled water is the purest form of water. Then we are calling here rainwater also distilled water. Why we are calling rainwater as a distilled water? Because it is getting evaporated in the atmosphere. Then again by the atmospheric pressure it is cooling down and it is falling. So it is distilled water. But we cannot use rainwater for drinking. Why? Because when the rain is falling down, it comes in contact with our environment and it contains so many pollutes and salts, harmful particles, impurities, suspended impurities. So it get mixed with that, and that is why it is not fit for drinking. So in 1 liter of seawater there are about 35 grams of salts, and that is only the common salt which we are using in our daily life, but small amount of other salts are also present in that. Okay, so how the salt came in rainwater? Because it get mixed with various when it is flowing through soils and rocks, it get mixed with various minerals, and that is why it becomes saline. So presence of small quantities of iodine in our body is very important for it. Salt obtained from seawater has small quantities of potassium iodide, but this is separated at the time of purification. Okay, normally when the soil is formed in near the ocean, near the seashore, it is getting throughout the process of filtration, and all the sodium bromide and potassium iodide has small quantities of it, and sometimes all the filtration process is going on, so all the harmful and not necessary things are they are removing, and rest of the things they are sending to us. And the small why we are saying that salt and iodine is useful for us, because it prevents from our various very harmful disease, that is goiter disease caused by the deficiency of iodine. Nextly, we'll come toward the topic 2.7, animals behavior of water. Normally the solid form of a substance is heavier than its liquid form, but this is not correct for water. You would have seen that in summer ice cubes put in the glass of sharbat or soft drink float on its surface. Thus we can say that the density of ice is less than the density of water. So students, this is the we are reading about the behavior of water. You have seen that the solid form of substance is heavier than the liquid form. Obviously when it comes towards the solid, it is heavier and the liquid is lighter, but this is not correct in the matter of water, because you have seen that in the summer when you are putting ice cubes starts to float in the surface of water. Okay, because the density of water is the density of ice is less than the density of water. See the formula: density of a substance is its mass per unit volume, is density is equals to mass upon volume. So density of water is the maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. This is 1 kilogram per liter, whereas the density of ice is 0.9 kilogram per liter. So this is why when ice is added to water, about 1/9th part of the ice is above the water surface and 8/9th part is below the water surface. This is the reason why in colder regions one cannot make out the exact size of the rock of ice floating on the water immediately. Due to this, the captains of the ships have to be very cautious when they are passing by the sides of the ice rocks. 1,000 died when the ship named Titanic sank in water after colliding with the floating rock of ice, which is called an iceberg. So you all have heard about Titanic, why it is sinked and how it is collapsed with the floating ice and which is called iceberg, and they got sink. So density of ice being less than the water is a boon for water organism. So students, all these are the creation of nature. Why the density of ice is less than the density of water? It is the boon for water organisms. So have you ever imagined if the density of ice is would not have less than the water, then ice began to come in the normally in the winter season, ice is frosting in the surface of the water, but if this has not been done, then whole water will be frozen. And how, if the whole water will be frozen, then how aquatic animals will survive in the winter season? So in the extreme cold climate, when the atmospheric pressure is less than 0 degrees Celsius, the water on the surface of sea and on the ponds start freezing. Being less dense than water, ice floats on the water surface. As ice is a bad conductor of heat, the heat trapped inside cannot get out, of the temperature of the water is maintained comparatively higher. This is how plants and animals living in water in winter survives. Okay, so density of ice is less than density of water, and it is very helpful for the water organism, because in the extreme cold climate, when the atmospheric pressure is less than 0 degrees Celsius, means where it is very cold temperature, then the water on the surface of the sea and pond starts to freeze, and being less than the dense than density of ice is less, so it starts floating on the surface of water. So students, imagine if this would have not been there, ice will not float on the surface, rather ice will freeze, the whole water will freeze. So aquatic animals are also going to freeze, and this is very threatening for their life. So we have seen that the freezing, the density of water decrease and its volume increases. Okay, so when the water freeze, the density of water decreases and its volume increases. So if a fully filled bottle of water is kept in the freezer of a refrigerator fridge, the bottle would break when the water freezes due to an increase in volume. So students, you might have filling the bottle of water during summers and keeping in the fridge. So if you fill the water bottle very tightly and you'll keep in the fridge, after freezing it, you have noticed that water bottle becomes very tight, and sometimes it crack also, because its volume increases. When the water freezes, its volume increases. Next topic is hard water and soft water. Okay, soap is used for washing and bathing usually. When soap gives a lot of lather with water, then it is called soft water. Okay, rather means in Hindi we call it jhag. Okay, so when soap is giving a lot of lather with water, then it is called soft water. Water from some sources do not give good lather, it is called hard water. So the water which do not give more lather is called hard water, and the water which give more lather is called soft water. Calcium and magnesium salts dissolved in hard water react with soap to form insoluble substance, and hence soap cannot form adequate lather. And why hard water is not able to form the lather? Because calcium and magnesium salts is present in them. Okay, so hardness of water is of two types: temporary hardness and permanent hardness. Temporary hardness is due to the presence of bicarbonates of magnesium and calcium. Students, this is very important, because of the bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium, and this can be removed by boiling the water. And permanent hardness cannot be removed by boiling or something else. Permanent hardness is due to chlorides of sulfates and calcium and magnesium salts dissolved in the water. This hardness cannot be removed by boiling. Okay, so hardness is of two types, temporary and permanent, and water is of two types: hard water and soft water. Hard water which do not give more lather, and soft water which give more lather. Okay, so students, today I am ending my explanation here only. Next class we'll see more about this. Thank you.